Hello Vulkan developers! A couple of tutorials back, we've implemented support for loading models using the Assimp library. This implementation works well, but in some models you may encounter a warning from the validation layers that says that the offset in the DescriptorWrite pBufferInfo structure must be a multiple of some device limit alignment when the descriptor type is a storage buffer. Even though the final image seems okay, I would like to fix this warning just to be on the safe side. So this is what we're going to do today. The reason that we're getting this warning is that some of our models are multi-segment, meaning that they are made up of multiple segments of vertices and indices, where all the indices in each segment are zero-based and refer only to the vertices in the corresponding segment. To store all the vertices and indices, we have a single vertex buffer and a single index buffer. To be able to render it correctly, we create a descriptor set for each segment, which contains the offsets of the vertices and indices in their respective buffers. We submit multiple draw calls, one for each segment, and the corresponding descriptor set is bound before the draw call. If you need more details, go ahead and watch the video about the Assimp library. The Vulkan spec requires the offsets in the descriptor sets to be a multiple of a value in the structure of limits of the physical device called min storage buffer offset alignment. This structure was retrieved when we called getPhysicalDeviceProperties during the initialization of the physical device. To get rid of the warning, we simply need to make sure that all the offsets are multiple of this value. In my case, the alignment is 16 bytes, and right now the size of the regular vertex in my implementation is 80 bytes, which actually divides by 16 without remainder, but the size of the skinned vertex is 116, which doesn't. We're going to implement skeletal animation in the future, so I'd like to fix this problem now. So the warning this time is actually coming from the index buffer and not the vertex buffer. The size of the index is 4 bytes, and when the number of indices doesn't divide by 4, we hit the alignment problem. You may have a different vertex structure with a different size, so the problem might be more common in your case. Anyway, let's fix it. Right now we are creating the SSBOs directly from the vectors of vertices and indices. An STL vector is simply an array, so the offset of each element can be calculated by multiplying the index of the element by the size of an element. We need to allocate a new buffer in CPU memory and copy the segments into it so that the starting offset of each segment will be a multiple of the required alignment. This means that in some cases we will have some padding at the end of the segment to make sure that the next segment is aligned. We also need to fix the descriptor sets to point to the updated offsets. Okay, so we are back in the VK model class, and in the video on loading models using the Assimp library, we saw that we need to implement a couple of virtual functions. Populate buffers for the regular vertices, and populate buffer skinned for skeletal animation. The two functions get a vector of vertices as a parameter. Populate buffers uses the regular vertex, and populate buffer skinned uses the skinned vertex. Right now this one is not implemented, so I have an assert here, so we will focus on that. This one will be implemented in the future, and it will work basically in the same way, just on the skinned vertex. So this vector contains all the vertices, divided into segments, and the segments may be unaligned. Now, to know where each segment begins, we go to the base class of VK model, which is core model. Okay, this one is only for Vulkan, and core model is shared between Vulkan and OpenGL. So core model contains a protected attribute, which is a vector of the basic mesh entry structure called meshes. And this guy tells us everything we need to know about each segment. Okay, we have the number of indices, the number of vertices, the base vertex, and the base index. So if you want to know where the vertices begin for this segment, you just multiply the base vertex by the size of the vertex, and the same for the indices. Multiply base index by the size of the index, which is 4 bytes. The number of indices and the number of vertices tells you the size of the segment. Going back to VK model, what I did is to add a new private vector here called aligned meshes, which corresponds to meshes. And this vector contains elements of Vulkan mesh entry, which is right here. And this tells us the offset and range in bytes for each segment, for the vertices and indices. And the difference compared to meshes is that the offsets here will be aligned. Okay, the range is going to be the original range. Since we need this value to create the descriptor sets, I decided to calculate it here. But the important thing is the offset, which must be aligned. So let's see how to do that. So let's jump into populate buffers. What we do here is that we save the vertex size. This is the same as the original code. Next we call update aligned meshes array, which populates the vector that we just saw and calculates the aligned offsets. And based on this data, we can now create the buffers with the aligned offsets. So let's start with update aligned meshes array. First of all, let's grab the alignment, and we can find it by going to the Vulkan core, to the physical device limits, and grab the min storage buffer offset alignment. This is the same value that we saw in the warning. Next, we take the number of segments or submeshes from the meshes vector, and we resize the aligned meshes vector using the same value. Okay, for every element here, we have a corresponding element here. Next, we initialize 2 offsets for the vertices and indices, and these guys will be incremented inside the loop that goes over all the segments, and we will need to make sure that they are always aligned. So we go over all the submeshes or segments, and we go to the aligned meshes vector, to the current location, to the current element, and we set the vertex buffer offset to the base vertex offset. So the first one is of course aligned, because this is 0, and then it will be incremented and aligned, so on the next iteration, when we get here again, it will still be aligned for the next segment. Next we calculate the range, which as we saw, is simply the number of vertices in this segment times the size of the vertex. Next we increment the base vertex offset by this value, right here. So at this point the offset may be unaligned, because this is actually the original offset. So what we do is to call align up to multiple on the offset and the required alignment. And we set it back into the base vertex offset. So this function is very simple, and this is kind of like the classical way of aligning some value to be a multiple of another value. So we have the size and the required alignment. What we need to do is to add the alignment to the size, and then decrement by 1, divide this by the alignment, and then multiply by the alignment. So for example, if the size is 7 and the alignment is 6, we do 7 plus 6 minus 1, which is 12 of course. We divide it by 6 and we multiply by 6. So we get 12 divided by 6, multiplied by 6, and the final result is of course 12. And this is indeed the result of aligning 7 up to be a multiple of 6. But if we are already on 6, then we get 11 and not 12 divided by 6. So this is an integer division, so we get 1 here. Okay, it is rounded down. 1 multiplied by 6 is 6, which makes sense because 6 is already aligned to 6. And in this way 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 are all aligned to 12. And then again for 12 we will get 12, and then for 13 we'll get 18, and so on. So we incremented the offset by the range, and now we align up the offset to be a multiple of the alignment. And this is now ready for the next iteration in the loop. We can now do the same thing for the indices. We set the index buffer offset to be the base index offset. We calculate the range, number of indices multiplied by the size of a 32-bit unsigned integer, increment the base index offset by the range, and then align it up to the same alignment. And the next time through the loop, this will be aligned as well as this one. So after the range of bytes, we may actually get a few bytes of padding to get to the next offset, to the next aligned offset, but this is okay. Those bytes are just padding and will not be processed. Next we go to the create buffers function, which takes the original vector of vertices. We need to calculate the size of the aligned buffers, which may very well be more than the original one. And to do that, we simply access the offset of the last element in the aligned meshes vector, and we add the range of this element. Okay, num sub meshes -1 takes us to the last element, and this is the aligned offset of this segment, so we just need to add the size of this segment to get to the end of the buffer. So we do that for the vertices and the indices. Next, we allocate a new buffer for the aligned vertices. So we call malloc on the vertex buffer size. So we are going to copy the vertices from the original vector. So we grab the address for that. This is the source vertices to the buffer that we have just allocated. And we do the same thing for the indices. As you can see, the indices are actually not provided as a parameter like this one, because we have them as a protected attribute which can be accessed from this class. Okay, so this is the source and this is the destination. So now we have a new loop over all the segments, and we need to calculate the source and destination offsets and do the copy. Okay, so the source offset is very simple. We saw that, the base vertex times the size of the vertex. And this is the exact address, the start of the vector of vertices, plus this offset. And the destination is the address of the aligned vertices, plus the offset of the vertex buffer in the aligned meshes vector. And this is what actually solves the problem. The number of bytes that we need to copy is the vertex buffer range. And then we call memcopy on the destination address, the source address, and the number of bytes. So we are copying from a potentially non-aligned address to the aligned address. Next, we do the same thing for the indices. The source offset is the base index times the size of the index in bytes. Calculate the exact address of this segment, right here, and the destination address. The number of bytes is the index buffer range, and again, the same memcopy. And now we can call create vertex buffer using the address of the aligned vertices and the size of this buffer. And we do the same thing for the indices. Before you leave this function, remember to free the allocated memory. As you can see, since this is a very simple example, I didn't use any memory allocator for the aligned addresses. They are simply allocated here and then freed at the end of the function. But of course, if your application or game contains such a memory allocator, then go ahead and use it. Now, there is an additional change that we need to implement to make sure that it works correctly, which is when we create the descriptor sets. Remember how this works? We have a structure called model_desc, which contains a description of the ranges for the vertex and index buffer, as well as the uniforms. It is updated based on the current model, and then we call update descriptor sets on the pipeline, and we provide it here to update the descriptor sets. So in this function, update model_desc, we just need to make sure to use the vertex buffer offset and the vertex buffer range in order to set the offset and range that go into the model_desc. And the same for the indices. So if we compare it to the original version with the bug, we can see that we're actually calculating the offset and range based on the original meshes vector. But now, since we have them in the aligned meshes, we simply grab them from here. And this is why I said that I prefer to calculate the range and have it ready when we need it here. And that's it for today. It was kind of a grudge work, but I hope that you found it to be useful. Let me know if you have a different solution to this problem. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.